From BBC Learning English, this is Learning English from the News, our podcast about the news headlines.
In this programme, passengers leave hantavirus ship.
Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Phil.
In this programme, we look at one big news story and the vocabulary in the headlines that will help you understand it.
You can find all the vocabulary and headlines from this episode, as well as a worksheet on our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
So, let's hear more about this story.
All passengers have now left the Dutch cruise ship MV Hondius after a voyage that led to the death of 3 people from hantavirus, a virus usually found in rats.
One passenger is thought to have caught the virus while birdwatching in Ushuaia, Argentina, where the ship's journey began.
The virus does not easily spread between people, but people who do catch it often die.
The World Health Organization has said that there is no sign of a larger outbreak at the moment, but as the disease takes a long time to develop, this could change.
Many countries have taken action to isolate or quarantine their citizens who returned from the ship.
Let's have our first headline. This headline is from Le Monde, a French newspaper. Hantavirus. After first positive case in France, government aims to break chain of transmission.
That headline again, and this is from Le Monde, a French newspaper. Hantavirus. After first positive case in France, government aims to break chain of transmission.
This headline is talking about the quarantine measures taken by the French government. We're looking at the expression break the chain. To understand this, we need to think about how chain works as a metaphor.
Yes, literally, a chain is lots of connected pieces, usually of metal. One of the metaphorical uses of chain is to talk about a sequence of connected events.
Here we're talking about the chain of transmission, which is describing how infectious illnesses pass from one person to another. If the chain is broken, by quarantine for example, then it stops the disease passing from one person to another.
There are lots of different kinds of chains that we can talk about in this way and that we can break. If someone interrupts you when you're being creative, they break your chain of thought.
A series of connected negative events could be a chain of events. If you stop those events, you could break the chain of negative events. You might also talk about breaking the chain of consequences.
We've had break the chain, stop something continuing.
For example, don't talk to me now, you'll break my chain of thought. This is Learning English from the News, our podcast about the news headlines. Today, we're talking about the hantavirus outbreak on a Dutch cruise ship.
A number of countries in Europe, the Americas and Asia are taking measures to test or isolate people who were on the ship or who have been in contact with those on the ship.
In Britain, 20 people were taken to a specific hospital for an initial period of isolation and tests.
And that's what our next headline is about. And this is from ITVX, the website of a British broadcaster. Hantavirus. Testing well underway for Cruise Britain's isolating at UK hospital.
And that headline again from ITVX. Hantavirus. Testing well underway for Cruise Britain's isolating at UK hospital.
We're going to learn underway. It means in progress.
This is a very common adjectival phrase, and we can use it to talk about any event, process, or plan. A class or a party can be underway. Your plans can be underway. A testing process can be underway.
As in this headline, we often use it after well to emphasise that something has definitely started or that it has been in progress for some time.
We've had underway, in progress.
For example, rehearsals for our play are well underway now. This is Learning English from the News from BBC Learning English. We're talking about the hantavirus outbreak on the Dutch ship MV Hondius.
First, the ship left Ushuaia at the southern tip of South America on the 20th of March.
After visiting Antarctica and returning to the city, It then sailed north across the Atlantic on the 1st of April.
One passenger died 10 days later. His wife then left the ship and travelled to South Africa, where she died on the 26th of April.
A third passenger died on the 2nd of May.
And our next headline is about this. This headline is from El País, a Spanish newspaper. Logbook of the MV Hondius, from Ushuaia to the Canary Islands. Chronology of a hantavirus outbreak.
That headline again from El País, a Spanish newspaper. Logbook of the MV Hondius, from Ushuaia to the Canary Islands. Chronology of a hantavirus outbreak.
This headline introduces an article that explains when different events in this story happened, and we're going to learn the word chronology.
A chronology is a description of a sequence of events, saying when they happened and in which order.
A chronology can be useful when investigating an incident or to help people understand a complex series of events. Here, the chronology is helping people understand how the situation on the ship developed.
We've been looking at the noun, but the related adjective, chronological, and adverb, chronologically, are probably more commonly used. If you describe events chronologically, or in chronological order, you say what happened first and then what happened next.
And just a note on pronunciation here, there's different stress on these similar words. Have a listen. Chronology, chronological.
We've had chronology, a sequence of events.
For example, the investigators established a chronology of what happened.
That's it for this episode of Learning English from the News. We'll be back next week with another news story.
If you want to learn more English from the news, try our series, Our World in English, BBC documentaries made easier for you. That's at bbclearningenglish.com.
Bye for now.
Bye!